What's going on, big dog?
Hey man, how you doing?
I'm good. No complaints. Other than just like this weekend has been just the sleepingest weekend. Well,
Oh,
not so much I've been sleeping. I've been sleeping, but I've been tired. I've been tired.
okay.
Daddy's sleepy is what it is, and I don't know if this just means I'm going to the gym and now I'm just like
Yeah,
I'm getting
could be.
tired.
Could be. Body's getting tired. You're actually getting physically tired, not
Yeah,
just mentally tired. So yeah,
yeah. That's
good stuff. How's the gym been, man?
hate
Off the
it.
top,
Hate
how's it
everything.
been?
I hate it all.
Good,
I hate every
good.
second of it. Um yeah. That's where no, I'm kidding. It's not bad, man. It's fun. I'm getting in, I'm doing like an hour a day, 3 days a week. A little some of column A, some of column B.
Good.
Every session starts with like a 15-20 minute walk. Just to
Well,
move.
the Greg Valentine warm up.
What?
These 15, 20 minutes, you're just getting loosened up. You're just getting warmed up, baby.
Okay, well, I'm not wrestling for 15-20 minutes and then I'm loose. I'm just walking in place like a hamster. But welcome to another fantastic edition of Final Wrestling Place. I am Tim,
I am still Marcus.
and we've got a nice full episode. I won't use the kiss of death, but I will talk about,
Mm,
don't want to use the two words,
that's right.
you know, cannot,
Mm-hmm.
will not.
Mm-hmm.
But on tap, we're going to talk, of course, some more Undertaking. But this was the yeoman's work this time for the Undertaking. And I'll tell more about it later. We're going to go on demand with a little Double or Nothing. We're going to be the last people on the network to break that down. We're going to talk about a lost colleague and
Mm-hmm.
a performer that is near and dear to both of us. But we're going to start a little lighthearted. We will jump into what DJ calls the most revolutionary subject in all of podcasting today: blind rankings. Let's get this ball rolling. Would you like to go first, or would you like to defer?
I will actually start.
Okay.
You thought I was going to say defer. Nope. All right. I've got two here, and it's which one to pick.
Okay.
And
Well, the beauty of it is we got another show next week, so whichever one you don't
sure
use
do.
this week
Sure do.
goes to that.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to hit you with Tim, blind rank 1 through 5, these NWO members.
Okay.
All right.
Shout out to the North South Connection. They have a latest draft episode where the panel is drafting NWO members.
It was a fun listen.
My
Fun
invite
listen.
must have got lost in the mail.
All right, Mr. Tim. Well, I got 5 names for you here. I'm going to mail them straight to you right now, one
Go
at a
ahead.
time. Here we go. Right off the top, Buff the Stuff.
3. That's a solid 3.
All right.
You can do worse than Buff, but you can do a lot better than Buff. But I think Buff is the most middlin' middest NWO member of all of them, because he hadn't quite hit like cool Buff, but he's learning cool Buff in the NWO.
Mm-hmm.
And then once he busts out of the NWO, then we get cool Buff.
Speaking of cool, next name up, Kevin Nash.
Don't care. Number 1. I don't care. I can be wrong. Number 1.
All right.
He would have been my number 1 draft pick if I was on that draft show.
Yeah. No, he is Mr. NWO to me.
Yeah.
Next up, Stevie Ray.
Oh, man. He means a lot, but he means a lot to like the worst version of the NWO. So like you're the
Oh,
skinniest fat
uh,
kid.
I think there's worse versions of the NWO.
The NWO the B team, they actually referred to them as the second squad of the NWO.
That just means they rolled they had a 12-man rotation, man. They rolled 12 deep.
Give me Stevie at 4.
Okay.
You can still do worse than Stevie, but he's not better than Buff.
All right. Next name up. Conan.
Oh, olale. See, here's I feel like you were listening to DJ and he made you feel some type of way that I had you hemming and hawing and I cooked your goose on my first blind ranking, and now you're giving me Conan and I got 2 and 5 left. And if I put Conan at 2, then you're gonna be like, Scott Hall, number 5. And it's like, what Conan's not a 5.
I don't know. Your blind ranking.
Conan's 5. Okay? He's not worse than Stevie, but Stevie had a higher rank in the NWO. And Conan's peak was absolutely Wolfpack, not NWO.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Who's last?
I follow the theory.
Who's last?
Last name, Scott Hall.
Number 2. I outthought the room. Oh man, if you whenever we get these video versions of the podcast up and going, you should have saw Marcus's face when I said, he's bamboozling me. He's giving me Conan now and Scott Hall next, and his face was like, how does he know?
No, I figured I think with a good blind ranking, I don't know. I feel like you need 2 good options at one.
Yeah.
And then it helps if you have a clear 5 thrown in there.
Right.
And everything else is chaos.
See, to me, if I could now, after they're not blind anymore, Stevie's 5, Conan's 4, Buff is still 3, Scott's 2, Kev's 1.
Okay.
Yours is not about people. It's not about tag teams. It's about versions of the WWE Championship.
Oh, let's go. Talking
I
belts.
have 5 title belts, and you're going to rank them in order from 1 to 5.
It's strictly off design?
It is strictly off design.
All right. We're just talking aesthetics, baby.
Okay.
Nah, not talking personality. Strictly looks. Let's
strictly
go.
looks. This is the Grease section of Final Wrestling Place. So, number 1, we're going to go with the undisputed WWE title from 2002. The Brock belt.
I really love the title, but I feel like it's a really good line of demarcation, so I'm going to put it at 3.
Okay. Next up is the WWE scratch logo, the Rock belt.
So you're talking about the egg title?
No. That's coming.
The Rock belt when he beats Phil.
Yes.
That one?
The scratch the big WWE scratched.
Yeah. The belt buckle. 5.
The belt buckle. That's 5 for you.
That's 5.
Okay. Next up is the title that you thought we were talking about, the Big Eagle.
Oof.
Big Eagle.
Yeah.
A lot of greats held this title.
Number 1.
Number 1.
Number 1.
Fair enough. Next up is the original John Cena spinner belt.
4.
Okay. And that means your number 2 best WWE title is the Winged Eagle.
Okay. That, for me, I nailed that.
Yeah,
If you ask me right now to redo it, that is the exact order I would have them in.
good.
I know that is blasphemy towards the Winged Eagle title. A little small for me. I like the bigger title when everybody's back on steroids and the title is appropriately sized to reflect the sudden gain in mass in everybody.
Gotcha.
That's the title I like.
If I
Um,
had I known that you were gonna drop steroids this early in the podcast, I would have had something loaded on the soundboard. But I don't, and I
oh,
don't want to delay things any further.
oh,
But yeah, man, good blind rankings. Let us know in the TNM Shows channel on the Discord, or let us know in the comments below on the YouTube version of this podcast. If you agree or disagree with our blind rankings, these are always fun for us to do, and we're glad that some of you guys are enjoying this. There's no real fun way to transition or pivot into this, but it is a part of life. It's a thing, and Marcus, I'll let you. I want you to talk about it as much as you want to, but um, especially for us as kids growing up in the Mid Atlantic area. And our first real foray into independent wrestling. One of our favorites as a kid, as kids, was a guy by the name of Dirty Money.
yeah.
And a lot of my first independent wrestling memories involve Dirty Money. But we found out today, on the day of this recording, that Dirty Money, through complications after a successful surgery for a quadricep tear, has passed away. And it's meaningful for the both of us because not only is he someone that like we both admired his work as a fan, but you may also have insight on Dirty Money a little differently. So I will open it up to you to speak on that.
Yeah. So about the cause, that's what I've heard. That's what you've heard. I haven't seen the family or anybody say anything officially regarding it, so I don't want to say 100% that was it, but so far that's what I've heard. And yeah, you mentioned there's no good way to talk about it, and it is a part of life, and I feel like as we get older, it becomes a bigger part of life, and it sucks. It really sucks. Such a valuable dude. Such a valuable dude. I mean, he'd been wrestling for well over 20 years, I'd say, and
Yeah, I mean when we were watching, like, our first VCW show was
what, oh five, oh
2003.
six,
Oh no.
oh four, right? Yeah, it would have been oh four.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was already running at it, so
Yeah, he
um
was US champ, or he was or Liberty champ,
yeah,
or
and
like,
he wasn't just breaking in either. So he'd been doing it for quite a good bit, and he's just as there's more turnover in wrestling and careers cut short, or people getting gobbled up to sit on a TV roster and like never really realize their potential. There's less and less of these dudes around. He's a true master of his craft. Um, Dirty could show up 30 minutes before his match, listen to the crowd when he walks in, and ask you what you want to do, listen to it, and then be like, how about I do this, this, and this? See you out there. and it would consistently be like reaction of the night. He knew exactly what to do to get the people up, to get the people going, know exactly what they wanted, and serve the purpose of whatever the story is. And just a true pro, and behind the scenes, just the kindest, coolest dude. Um, yeah, just soft spoken, but always lively and just super positive. And yeah, really, obviously, really unfortunate. And you know, to be right there where he blew out his quads, and to be in his last match, um, and to know like the last time I saw him, like all that will continue to set in as like the week goes. But yeah, it sucks. Um, yeah, there's not another way to really to put it, but um, a true loss for wrestling, and just from a humane aspect too. Dude just love life, and yeah, it's a heavy loss, and it's going to be felt. And you know, if anybody's listening associated with Dirty, you know, obviously our condolences and love and thoughts and prayers go out uh, to anybody else affected by the loss.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Did you ever have the chance to work against Dirty?
No,
I thought you
no,
did for some reason. Like I thought you were in like a
no.
multi-person.
We tagged together a couple times, but
I
no,
knew
we
you
never worked
tagged together,
worked
but
across. Nope.
yeah, but
No, but I mean, battle royal together, but we didn't. We never threw any bombs or
right.
anything like that.
It's
If anything,
never
we
had
found people to beat up together.
the yeah. Um I know that um you know as fans as like as teenagers we always thought Dirty Money was like super cool.
Yeah.
Um like he had the best theme, he had the best look. Um he's the type of dude like any local indie. There's you always look on their rosters and you're like there's like two or three dudes who you're like, "Man, why is this guy here and why is this guy not doing something somewhere else?" Right?
Right.
And
Mm-hmm.
whether it's circumstances or whether they just want to be here um or anything like sometimes you know staying locals what it is and like you know the priorities of people are different, right? And I
Yeah.
think that's one of the things that you and I have learned um in our varying degrees of separation with professional wrestling, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, as fans, you're like, well, why aren't you signed? Why aren't you on TV? Why aren't you doing this? And now that like we're both older and we're both also like you more so than me, but both of us having a time where we're a part of the show. Um, that thought is out of my head because now I can understand and I can appreciate wrestlers who never did sign because often like sometimes it is because they never got the call.
Right.
But other times it's because they are just choosing not to answer the phone. And you have to respect that. Um, when I know when I was a teenager, I probably would have said that that was stupid, but perspective is everything. And like as you said, as we get older, things set in, things are more real, things carry more weight. And especially with wrestlers are regular people too. They have families. They have to find a way to make money, and you know, getting on televised wrestling is sometimes like a lottery ticket, right? And sometimes some people will tell you that you can't win if you don't play, and other people just refuse to play and they do their own thing, right? And they're to the beat of their own drum.
Yeah, and I know Dirty like went to OVW.
Yeah, he was in
like,
OVW
himself, and he's one of those guys you hear about that like they take the chance on themselves to get themselves in OVW, and like you kind of do the pay to play or whatever, and yeah, you're better than everybody there, but because you're not handpicked by them, you never get the same opportunities to prove what you can do. So yeah, definitely should have he should have gotten more opportunities to show what he could do. Yeah, great worker. Yeah, didn't mean to cut you off there, but
no, you're fine. And,
yeah.
I think one of the saddest parts of it all, or like, I wouldn't say saddest, but like, actually, I will say sad. Probably one of the saddest things is there's going to be a ton of people we know who would have loved to see Dirty Money, whether it's through on demand or on YouTube or live and in person, but I don't know how much of his stuff is out there floating on the internet.
Yeah,
I know there's a couple of people who were trying to do threads on Twitter of pointing to matches, but I think some of those matches are like, I wouldn't call some of those matches to be like Dirty Money's best stuff. Like, Dirty's had matches in front of like 60, 65 people, and like been better than stuff you see on Monday Night Raw, stuff you see on Dynamite.
Sold out at Madison Square Garden,
right? Like so it's one of those things where it's just like he's in that weird pocket of time, like of time lost stuff, but not because it's like lost, but it's just like it's out there on DVD somewhere.
Right, but like, not digital.
But it's not digital, so it's like, and it's not on like any streaming services.
Yeah.
So the only way you have like Dirty Money's legacy is if you were supporting like the Indie Fed and buying the DVDs every month for the show that you were just at every month. Yeah. Hopefully, I don't know what VCW's got on hand, but I know they got a YouTube channel, and dig through the vault. And if anybody needs some help ripping some DVD stuff, I got them. I can help. But yeah, man, definitely a loss. Definitely a bummer for sure in different aspects for the two of us. But I always appreciated Dirty Money. I will tell an embarrassing story about myself in this. So Dirty Money has had a very distinct wrestler voice. Especially
so different from his
backstage
regular speaking voice. Yeah.
And so he would turn it on and he'd come out, and he was one of the wrestlers, especially when we were watching him, he was one of the wrestlers who would like say his name a lot in his taunting. Mm-hmm. And so as a fan, like, I would respond back to him, but I would imitate him. And one show at the Mercury Entertainment Center, the old bingo hall on Mercury Boulevard, I don't even know if it's still standing.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But there's a titty flop behind it. Which, God, we could talk about old VCW for at least a lean 15.
Yeah.
Just shining
It's a
Rick
place where
Diamond.
the workers could go support the workers.
That's right. Get some R&R.
One payday to another.
That's right. Just just making change out of your envelope. And but I one for whatever reason, this one show, I do the Dirty Money taunt and I imitate him and he looks at me. He's like, "Are you making fun of me?" And I'm like, "No." And as a kid, I think I'm being smart and I'm like, "Imitation's the most sincerest form of flattery." And he just is like, "Shut up, kid." And I'm like, "Okay, I don't know any better." I'm like 17. It's whatever. It was fun, but yeah, man, Dirty will be missed. I was very fortunate enough. I believe he wrestled. Yes, the last VCW show I went to,
Okay.
the Boar versus EC3 match at the
Okay.
Masonic Temple. Dirty Money was on that card. And he was also on the card when I was there when Boar won the title. He was in a triple threat for the Liberty title with another guy of ours, Phil Brown, and was it Papadon?
I think so. I think that's right. Yeah.
I think it was Papadon. But either way, man, Dirty will be missed. And if it's a takeaway for us, at least, if there's any sort of takeaway that those listening can take from this, because obviously, like, we're basically eulogizing him for ourselves because this is like what we talk it through. But in any event, there is a takeaway for those who listen, and that is kind of something we say all the time when somebody goes too soon, right? I know Joe hates this expression, but give your flowers while somebody can still appreciate them,
Yeah.
especially your indie workers, because you don't like not every indie worker gets the same send off as like Avery Good professional wrestler or like Logan Easton Lareau. Like they don't call their shot and walk away.
Right.
The next time you see somebody who you really enjoy on the indies could be the last time you see him on the indies. Like cheer who you love, boo who you hate. Be an active fan and just like don't take any event that you go to for granted, because it could be like, that could be the last time you get a chance to see that person perform. And I'm not even saying like the extreme of Dirty Money, but like just in general, like give your flowers when you can while they can appreciate them, and just continue to
And
support.
give your $20 too, because Dirty was always set up at the merch table, baby.
That's right.
He always had the fresh gimmicks. So yeah, he'll definitely be missed, man. But yeah, thank you for talking that through with me. Appreciate it, dog.
Yeah. I know that is not necessarily your foray. You don't necessarily like to um it's not
Yeah.
recreational sadness, but it is the cousin of recreational sadness because it's
Public
not
processing. Yeah.
public
And that's
processing.
that's
Yeah.
not, yeah, it's not my get down. So to get us out of this, I'm gonna hit you with my other blind ranking, a bonus blind ranking.
Oh,
I'm not gonna wait till next week. So here you go, Mr. Tim. Blind rank these WCW champions.
okay. This will work.
All right. So not the titles, just the champions. All right. Number one, hot out the gate. Total package, Lex Luger.
Ooh, okay. See, I think he's a better U.S. champion than he was a world champion. But Luger with Harley Race was pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to put him at like 4.
Okay. All right.
4.
Because you don't know who's coming down. You don't know. Who's
I don't
coming
know.
Down. All right. Next up,
Hollywood.
Hulk Hogan.
I'm going to put him at 3.
Of the new world order.
New World Organization of Wrestling. I'm putting him at 3. Because I'm hoping you've got 2 more heavy hitters on the list.
All right. Well, definitely do. That's what I like about the WCW title rankings is they're champions for the most part. It's a lot of heavy hitters.
Yeah, David Arquette.
There's not a lot of duds.
And Vince
I didn't
Russo.
say all, but I said there's a lot. There's a lot. All right, next up. Third name being listed here. The man they call Vader.
2.
2, okay.
Vader was such a... that sucks, because if like you give like Sting and Flair, one of those got to be 5. But Vader's legit WCW champion, man. Like,
yeah,
you gotta love a big dominating bad guy champion. My only regret is that I wish we would have had a babyface Vader title run somewhere. Like, imagine if Vader had somehow found a way to stay in WCW when the NWO kicks off. And Vader's on the other side with WCW. So it's Vader, Sting, Luger, Flair, and the Horsemen versus the entire pack of the NWO. And Vader's the answer for like Hall or for Nash and the Giant and all these big thick dudes.
Man. Yeah. And we almost got there a year earlier though, when he's like wrapped in against the Dungeon of Doom.
Right.
But then he splits. Well,
yeah.
Paul Orndorff splits him.
Yeah. Well, I heard that hearing a man getting beat up in shower shoes sounds like a round of applause. But who you got for my 4th person to rank?
All right, your 4th name right here is the chosen one, Jeff Jarrett.
I feel perfectly fine putting Double J at 5.
All right.
He is WCW champion during the point of WCW where no matter how great Jeff Jarrett would have been champion, there's no saving the coffin on roller skates. And his title reigns are a part of this time period in WCW where it's like it's Russo-rific. His longest reign is what? Maybe 3 months? Because there's a lot of flip-flopping with Double J.
I don't even think he holds it that long. Yeah.
Right. His WCW title reigns are very similar to his Intercontinental title reigns in WWE.
Yeah.
Like, he may have one of good length, but there is a hot potato in WCW at that time. Number 1.
All right. You played the waiting game. Will it pay off? Will it play off?
Give me David Arquette. Just give it to
Your
me.
number 1. It's Sting.
It's Sting. Number 1. Number 1.
It's the Stinger.
Number 1 in my heart. Number 1 in my life.
Number 1 on my shirt.
That's right.
We get the jank going. Yep.
Yeah, I almost bought the stash pages.
WCW drop.
Yeah, big WCW drop. Tell me that I don't need a $155 WCW Saturday Night neon light.
I have the Heart Foundation light. I just haven't set it up yet. Well worth it.
I don't know if I got
really high quality.
I don't know if I absolutely want the WWE Saturday Night one as opposed to the where the big boys play one.
Yeah.
But dang, man.
Let me. Here's what I had to ask myself. I said,
Self?
if this goes away and it doesn't come back up, am I going to regret not getting it when I could have gotten it? And the answer was yes. So I had to get it.
But for those of us who are fans of The Office, this could very well turn into a Michael Scott's neon light situation if me and my Jan split up, where she fights me over the neon light and then she breaks my very, very small plasma television. And then, like, just for spite, we have guests over and I pull out the neon light and set it up in the dining room during a fancy dinner and turn it on, and it just blows everybody out with how loud the neon light is.
I don't know anything about The Office.
I know you
However, I can tell you that there are different settings to the light, so it doesn't necessarily have to be neon all the time. And there's a damper on it as well.
What's the point of having a neon light if that jank just ain't bussing?
Gives you control.
I don't want control. I want it to just be, I want it to be as bright as the brightest star in the sky or off.
Well, you have the control to do that. And if you want to walk in at 4:05,
it's all about control, Marcus. It's all about control. Would you say that it's stock? Would you say that it's stock?
It's stock. It's stock.
Let me see if it's still here. Oh, it's all on pre-order. Okay.
Yeah, so it's pre-order, yeah. By the time you get it, you'll have forgotten about it and you've made the money back. So it'll be like a free lamp came.
But I don't even see now. To me, you need to get up in this because they got some fanny packs.
I'm good on the fanny packs because I got my fanny packs and I said, okay, I'm good on fanny packs.
There's also some nice hot boy shorts. Have you seen the hot boy shorts?
I have seen the shorts. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't see the Superstation snapback hat. Oh, I might need one of these trucker hats.
See, there you go. Get yourself a little hat and a lamp, and you're good to go.
Just get yourself little.
It's like the hat is basically free. I'm sure there's a gimmick. If you spend so much, something's free. So just go ahead and do it, man. This is why you work. What's the point of working if you can't get yourself nice things?
Because I'm a mortgage owner and I pay to live in my house.
Yeah. So what's the point of having a house if you can't put cool things in it? Get the lamp, man.
I have a house so my wife can put her cool things in it. Yeah.
Get the lamp. You should get the lamp.
I have a QR code that I can send around. People can make donations to my my lamp fund.
T&M Show's Discord.
No.
Channel.
This is how I end up doing the Undertaking. This is how I end up somehow not getting into Papa Tui. No, if I start leaving every decision I make to these people. Go ahead. I cut you off. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I will consult my beautician and hairstylist, Miss Tatum, from Wings on Wings fame. Should I be using this Papa Tui? Doesn't look like it. It looks like a scam.
How dare you?
Looks like I'm gonna become a crypto bro if I start using that stuff. So
no,
I don't
you're gonna turn into The Rock.
That stuff is good for me. The Rock kind of looks like a crypto bro.
Yeah, and makes $1 billion.
Okay, he is rich, but that's real money, not crypto.
He's not in crypto.
No, I said not. I said he's got real money coming in.
Right. He didn't fund his Papa Tui project with crypto coin, funny money.
It just seems like one project too many for The Rock. You know, I don't trust this one.
What other projects does he have? Go ahead.
He's got shoes. He's got stuff with Under Armour. He's got water. He's got
water?
Vodka. Yeah, The Rock's got water.
What's his water?
I don't know, but he's got water. I
The
forget what it
Rock does
is.
not have water.
Is it Zoa? That's the energy
That's not
drink. Sorry,
water.
that's the energy drink. I
That's
misspoke. Sorry, energy drink. He's got the energy drink. He's got the booze.
oh,
He's
okay.
got.
The Rock is a investor with Voss water,
There we go. Thank you.
but it's
All right.
Voss. It's its own
Water.
brand. He didn't
It's
create this
water.
brand.
It's water. So yeah, too many ventures. I'm gonna sit this one out.
Come on, man. Papa
I'm gonna sit this
Tooie.
one. Nah, I'm good.
Sounds like
Too
a
close to Baba
sidekick in the
Boo.
new Moana movie. Yo,
No,
I can't wait for Moana 2 when Maui has a kid named Papa Tooie and he's got a little tiny hook.
that's the payoff.
That's the payoff. Papa
All
Tooie.
right, well, count me
Look,
out of that.
look like a little baby.
What are we gonna talk about next? We doing on demand?
We can go on demand, so we're like going to be the last people on the whole network to talk about it. But since viewers' choice is RIP 7 years ago, we're on demand for some
right, baby.
double or nothing Jones for AEW.
Double or daddy?
Double or daddy.
Deeb or nothing?
A very late last minute bat signal throw for us to get the tap for the compound. That was super appreciated. Marcus and I were just kicking it at the house, old school style. And then we got the call and we had to kiss the baby and send it away and make the journey. And lo and behold, we got some quality time with a lot of good people. We won some free money.
Sure did.
Free
Doesn't
money
winning
at the
feel
casino.
good? Don't you like that? Don't you like that? Don't you like winning? That's what it feels like.
Here's what I like about it, Marcus. I like that you listen to me. Because I definitely told my consortium that if you were left to your own devices, we would have not left with free money.
Or
No,
we could have left. We could have left
No.
with more money.
no, we
That is
would
on the
have left.
table.
We would have left with none money.
Listen, the slots were hot.
They were hot
They were
on our free
spinning and
money.
rolling. Yeah, and I turned some of that free money into real money, and then turned that into a profit as well.
But you tend to not know when enough is enough.
Well, what happens if you just play another, 10 or 15 or 20? A reinvestment is what I like to call it.
No.
You reinvest a couple of bucks and see if
they
you can get
invested. They invested in us and gave us the free money. If we
Right.
turned their investment into 5 times what they gave us, I think that that's a sign from God saying, "Hey, stop it."
Right. And I take it as a sign from God to, hey, you could make this 10 times.
No.
So,
You could
Take a little
also
bit
make
and
it
reinvest.
negative 10 times.
you could if you don't have any control or you're a loser. And that's not me.
Shout out to the 5-star main event that me and my ID gave the
Oh my
bouncer
gosh,
dude at
you
the casino.
almost didn't get in. I thought you were going to jail.
Dog, I was going to jail.
I thought you were going to jail. So yeah, they ID check us. Not
which they
because
didn't-
we're young, but I
didn't
think
check
because
us
they're
the
bored.
last time we were here.
No, I think they just needed to look busy.
Yeah,
Justify
Corporate-
looking there.
corporate
right?
was in.
So they scan me in. Surprisingly, I get in. Bra man hooks me up. I'm in, no problem. Tim, how did it feel to have a hard time getting into someplace? Did I feel uncomfortable?
Attica. I was about to bust out a mug and started rattling it across. Nobody knows. Yeah, man.
So, you were held up for a bit. Your ID, for whatever reason, was I saw the screen and it was saying your wrong age. It was flashing up on the screen. I'm like, that's not his age. Why is it saying that? Yeah, it had you at kayfabe, had you at 38.
I mean, I'm gonna be 38.
But you're not.
I'm not there yet.
Yeah. So that's what it was on the screen. And I'm like, that's not right.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, something was wrong. Um, and then big dude had to call in backup, but they knew that they were messing up.
Yeah, but I thought for sure that they were gonna at some point after the 50th time they run my license through this little scanning deal that they're like, it has to be fake. And I was just ready to see them take my driver's license and snap it in half with their little fingers, and I would have just like, I would have crumpled to my knees and been like, oh, no. I got stuff to do. I had to drive home that night. Like I had some sinning to do, and I couldn't be bothered.
Had some winning to do.
We did do some winning. We made them pay for all my I got reparations that day. They took
We sure did.
They took me to the cleaners at the ID scanny deal, and I took them to the cleaners at Wheel of Fortune, Daddy.
Let's go.
You hit me $98, I think, on that deal. Anyway,
Let's go.
that's right. Then after that, we caught up with Big Tate's. That was a fun time. But the whole rigmarole. By the way, thank you, Tatum, for your hospitality. Your good hangs. It was great. But then we get to the main event. DJ beats me up on his porch. I don't understand why. Let's talk about you getting me in trouble with DJ.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So the dude just being nice and he's cooking burgers for the whole jank.
Yeah.
But Marcus has baby mouth, so we order food for him at the bar.
Well, hold on. I didn't know that Mr. the Dude was going to be cooking, so I wanted to come prepared with my own food, knowing that I'm going to eat that. In addition to, if there is also food available, I will probably eat that as well.
Right.
But just to be safe, since I'm a grown boy, I needed to have my food. And I don't think I had really eaten that day anyways. So I was due. I had to play makeup on a couple meals. Well, so that's setting the table. That's so fine. I get a steak sandwich, which is great.
No cheese.
Thank you again. Yes, Miss Tatum for the recommendation. Delivered. Awesome. And then I also ordered a burger.
Didn't you also get some wings?
Did get some wings as well in the spirit. The wings were good. But the burger did not come as ordered. So I could not risk life or death and try to eat it. So I did what any good friend would do. I gave it to Mr. Tim. Say, hey, you want some of this?
And so I'm like, I know this before. Usually it's around McDonald's where Marcus orders plain double hamburgers and they put cheese on the jank. And that's how some nights I walked out with 6 burgers. Because I had mine and he had his, and then he's like, these have cheese on them, and instead of just going back to McDonald's and changing them in, you would just give me your hamburgers, and I'm not gonna turn down 3 more McDoubles.
Oh my gosh!
It's your fault. I'm fat. How do you feel about it?
Was the one that was at my house. Yes. I think you have a lawsuit against McDonald's, but yeah, it was the one that was close to my house. Oh man, dude. Oh, I was still in high school. That's crazy. Yeah. But yeah, they kept just making them wrong. And I'd look and be like, nope, not it. Slide them over to you. They bring me out another stack. I was looking like Tuesday.
Right?
Is that Wimpy? Is that
Wimpy.
Is that the
Gladly pay you Wimpy. Tuesday for a hamburger today.
Yeah, I'm looking like him with a plate full of burgers and just sliding them over and being like, nope, try again.
Yep.
So yeah, it took
the trying was over.
Yeah, you did end up leaving with like 6 that one time.
Like I had my own order plus his burgers. And like my McDonald's order is 3 McDoubles plain large fry, large Coke, and if I'm feeling fancy, a 4-piece nugget. So I'm already walking out of there with that. And then I get Marcus's 3 double hamburgers, no cheese. Cheesed up. And I'm sitting here. I got a baker's dozen of burgers by the time I'm done. Like I'm putting it away, Jack. And it's but so I'm getting flashbacks to that point in time. Marcus hands me this burger and fries.
Just one.
It's just one, but there's a bunch of fries, burger and fries. And so like I'm starting to partake in the gift that Marcus has given me. And then DJ comes up and goes, "Oh, ungrateful. I'm cooking for you and now you got your own burger. Like my food's not good enough." And I just feel like I was set up by you.
You got caught red-handed. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know why you did that. Why you thought it was okay to bring in food into the Dooge's abode and disrespect him when you knew that he was going to be cooking for us like that. And man, I just can't help you out sometimes, my guy. And you know, I know you mean well, and I just hope that one day the intent actually comes across as meant and fully delivered. You know, I believe in you though.
Sure. And so we do all that and we finally get time to wrestle time. And now we're actually getting into on demand, okay?
That's right.
Surprisingly, we're not going to have a different take than the rest of the show or the rest of the podcast. Nope. Every match could have had at least 3 minutes shaved off of it. Some much longer. And now people will say the problem is MJF's long-winded promo to start the show.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot put all that heat on the son of Triple H.
But I will say that segment, I thought, from about the halfway point on, did derail the show. And the show did not get back on the tracks until the last 4 matches.
I wouldn't even say it got back on the tracks in the last 4 matches.
I think it happened during the 4th match, or during the cage match. I think that's like, okay, we're getting back on track. And then it was triple main event time, if I remember right.
Yeah.
And I thought the 3 main events all delivered, if not, I think one over delivered. I think the other 2 met expectations.
Right. But there was a lot of egregious actions throughout the entire card. And I saw a lot of discourse saying, well, Double or Nothing is their longest show of the year. I understand that. Like, I'm not one of the crazies who complain that WrestleMania is too long. Okay? I have no problem if a wrestling show goes 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I don't have a problem watching a movie that is 4 hours. But don't make me feel like I spent 4 hours.
Correct.
Like, it needs to fly. And the card did not fly.
It needs to flow. And it needs to flow.
And it just didn't.
Yeah.
And I can understand, like, you can give some of it to MJF because he's the pace setter, right? Like Ospreay and Roderick Strong for all of its. Actually, I'm curious if we have some Meltzer ratings.
I know they're out. I know I saw them. A lot of 4s and 4.5s. I don't think anything was 5. But yeah, the stars were flying. It was Florian. So I guess real quick on like Ospreay and Strong, that was one of the matches I was least interested in. And because it started so hot, I got into it. And then they kind of settled for a bit. And then they got to a point where I thought the match was like reaching a climax. And I think that's around the time that like Under the Kingdom or whatever, like brought to the back or whatever. And like I was ready to like, let's get going, let's get home. And I felt like that was the middle portion of the match. And then they had to ramp me back up for the finish. But I was never as invested as I was at like the midpoint of the match, I think. So like
Right.
to me, that's one. Yes, great match, but I think like every match, guilty of not going home at the true high point, and you could probably take a couple minutes off.
Right. So I'm looking at the ratings. Osprey and Strong did 4 3/4. The trios title did 4. Tony
That's
Storm
crazy.
and Serena Deeb got 3.5. OC and Trent got 3 3/4. The triple threat for the FTW title got 2 1/4. And then Mox Takeshita and Edge Malachi Black both got 4 1/4. So did Swerve and Christian. They also got 4 1/4. And then the TBS title and Anarchy in the Arena got 4.5.
Okay.
You could also
I
shave
don't.
a star off of almost all of those matches.
Yeah. I don't remember anything about the Jericho match.
I
I remember there was like
remember
dice or something that went on the canvas. I don't remember the finish. I don't remember anything of that.
I remember
Nothing.
one thing in very particular where we're watching it happen and you were sitting in between DJ and Brett and you were just screaming at the TV, table's too close.
Oh.
Table's too close. And then it happened. Then Shibata DVD's hook onto Jericho on the table. And Shibata almost goes head over elbows. And almost busts his brain open again. And you're like, told you so.
Yeah.
What from this card? Osprey is definitely a go back. The Osprey matches definitely go back on it, but at some point, and I don't mean this to sound like a negative, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at some point, all of Will Ospreay's matches are pretty much the same, right?
I've never gone back, I don't think, to rewatch a Will Ospreay match. Like I
His
don't
stuff
think
is
I've seen any
great.
of his
Like,
matches twice.
yeah, like
So I
it's
don't
great.
know if they play the same on a second or third watch. It might just be like an in the moment thing, which is great. There's definitely a place for that. It might just be an in the moment feeling the live tension build up, which is again no complaints from me.
Right. Um, for me, a definite like there are some definite do not watches on this card though.
Yeah.
Don't watch Tony Storm and Serena Deeb. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Cosign.
Don't watch OC Trent Beretta.
Cosign.
Don't do it. OC's great.
Cosign.
Trent Beretta's great. They said it best on We Need Wrestling. That is a Rampage main event.
I have no doubt that these guys are going to have a TV main event and it's going to blow some socks off.
I have no doubt they're going to run this back on pay-per-view in some other match now that Trent Beretta is a part of the Callis family.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to run it back. And it's going to be great. This match, not for that. Do not watch Jon Moxley and Konosuke Takeshita. Do not watch it. Don't do it.
Credit to Moxley for being able to work the whole match. Like his arm was blown off.
Obviously, it wasn't.
Obviously, it didn't matter.
Didn't matter. Look, I don't know how people how AEW fans could enjoy this match, but then shit on Super Cena.
I
Mox
understand.
had one arm going into the match, and as the match progressed, he got stronger.
And it's not like, I don't want to disparage
Sorry for
anybody.
cussing. Family friendly.
It's not like he was going up against, like, let's say Kip Sabian, right?
Right.
Who, all right, he's smaller, he's gonna have to be more wiry. You
He's
kind of
got a
need
block on his head.
the extra thing there to kind of sell that Mox is in danger. Like, you can stand Takeshita and Moxley side by side, and you could be like, yeah, straight up, I think the tall dude might win this one. Like, Takeshita might win. They're both tall, but like,
Right.
I think Takeshita might win. It's just
Right.
side by side. You don't even need the arm thing. It's a
Right.
50-50 fight. So then you do the arm thing, and it should be like 90-10, and Moxley just, I don't know what the betting odds are. I don't know what offshore book you need to look into, but I think every pay-per-view you could just parlay the money line of Moxley winning with Will Ospreay winning, and it's probably only like minus 120. So bet 120 to win 100. But if you saw a free $100 on the ground, wouldn't you bend over to pick it up?
Yeah, but I don't want to play $100 for the one chance that they're gonna do it right.
It's not going to happen. You
It's
think
not
that
gonna
dude
happen.
don't lose?
Um, to me, those are all the do not watches. Whether it's because it's not sharp, it's not for pay-per-view, or it just doesn't leave a really good taste in your mouth. Like
Mm-hmm.
those three things. But for me, on the opposite side, ones you should go back and watch. Watch the opener, with the exception of the weird spot with Osprey and Don Callis, where Will Osprey's looking at his hands and he's going to his crazy place and he's hearing voices in his head. I really like the trios title match. Bang Bang Gang Death Triangle.
Okay, see, I was on the other side of that.
Oh, you are.
There is absolutely a place for 6-man tags on the pay-per-view. I think they're important to the card variety, which is usually a strength of AW pay-per-views. But I thought with the Juice return, I thought you should have done a title change and you do the Juice return on TV. I think you just run it back on TV, be like, the Bang Bang Gang issuing their return match clause tonight, and you get Juice out there and you do it on TV. I don't like Juice helping them retain. It doesn't feel as impactful. I like it more if he helps them get the titles back, and it's like, okay, when they are a complete unit of 4, you're not getting the belts off these guys.
Fair
But
enough.
when there's 3, you can take them off. They're beatable.
Fair. So we're split on that. I don't think we're split on Adam Cole and Malachi Black.
I liked it.
Even with
I would
Mr.
watch
F-
it again.
even with Mr. F
Yeah.
and being bigger than
That
Brody
was
King.
fun. That was fun.
That was fun.
Yeah, all those Attitude Era guys are big.
Yeah, they are. It's not a must watch and it's not a must skip. Where do you stand on Swerve and Christian?
A perfectly fine title defense that moves things along.
Yeah.
Met expectations.
Met expectations. So now we're going to get to the two that I think we may be split on.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on the TBS title match?
I thought it was the match of the night.
Really?
And that is on the back of Willow. It's not about styles clashing to me, unless the one style is phony and the other style is really good professional wrestler. Those are the two styles to me. If you can find me a a recent Sasha Banks match in the last
10
four,
years.
5 years where she can string together 60 seconds, 90 seconds of uninterrupted, believable, convincing, no daylight wrestling. Love to see the stretch. But she is heralded as a top draw, a top act, a top attraction, um, in the business, a top guy. Um, to me, the work does not live up to that. And that's not about being hold for hold perfect because CM Punk's not, Becky Lynch is not, but they never lose that intensity. And uh, they never make it feel like it's not a struggle. And I feel like for them, it's like it's a struggle, like it's a fight. And when it's Sasha struggling, it's like it's a struggle to remember what move I'm supposed to do or how to execute it. That's me. That's a critical eye. Maybe I'm in too deep and maybe there is no saving me or getting me off this hill. Maybe too much damage is done. And the whole Mercedes Monet thing, which is totally and definitely unique enough from Sasha Banks um, to be legally distinct, is maybe just not for me. And that's all right. I'm not looking forward to the CEO era. Um, I just, uh, none of it's for me. None of this is for me. Doesn't feel organic. I don't like any of it. I thought they kneecapped Willow, and I really, really, really disliked Willow losing the title and then getting turned on by Statlander and Stokely.
I,
I
th- I
thought that was a really bad choice.
I felt like you could do those two together. That like Stat turns on Willow, which causes Mercedes to win.
Yes, you could do that. You could absolutely do that because then it's like, okay, for Willow, it's okay. Well, now I have to settle things with Statlander, who's the reason I lost the title before I go back after Sasha. Um, or I think if Willow loses and then you have Willow chase and you build to a big TV match and then you have Statlander do the turn, it could be based out of jealousy. Like, I saw you barely lost the last time. I had that title before. You had your run with the title. I should be getting the next shot, but you got your rematch clause. And honestly, I don't want you getting the belt again before I do. That makes sense. Or it makes sense if she wins the title, if she retains the title, and then you do the turn because she's like, shoot, like you just surpassed me. You beat the biggest challenger that we've had in the division. I want my shot. That always makes sense. But I thought kicking her while she was down made zero sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Thought it was, and I thought it blew through like 6 might be a little exaggerated, but like a solid 3 months of booking just blew right through it.
Yeah, I agree. This is definitely go back and must watch. I'm also in the same boat as you that it's definitely on Willow and not Sasha, but or Mercedes, but um, it's not without its faults, right? I feel like is this entire card is riddled with things that were great. Like everything got bumped down a letter grade because of decision making, right? Like things that
Yeah.
were all time ended up becoming great. Things that were great ended up becoming very good. Things that were very good became good. Good became not so good, and down the line, and it trickled all the way down. Um, Anarchy in the Arena was crazy. Not as crazy as we've seen before. Definitely like a
Yeah.
watered down version of Anarchy in the Arena, but still fun. Darby Allin is a madman. Kudos to Jack Perry for being willing to set himself on fire. Um, but that's it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
This match screams Uh, Give me this match in a YouTube short.
Mm,
All of the highlights in 60 seconds.
yeah.
That's it.
I thought DJ made a great point on We Need Wrestling. Eventually, one of these Anarchy in the Arena matches were going to be the lesser. And
Right.
it doesn't make it bad. It just means that there's a really high bar.
Right.
I think Anarchy in the Arena is a match they should have never done a second one. I thought the first one was an all-timer instantly. And I guess it's the same argument that people make that like they should have never had a second cell match, or they never should have had a third match. Like after King of the Ring, they shouldn't have done anymore, right? With the big Foley bump. Like that should have been it. Like they got it so right the first time that I'm like, of course, it's always an honor to be part of a match and deliver so well that it becomes like, hey, we're going to have one of these like once a year. But the first one was just so good. I think I still have it in like my top like 3 AEW matches. Like, I love that very first one. But yeah, one of these was going to be the lesser, and I think it was this one. Doesn't make it bad. Just it's not Eddie Kingston setting people on fire, you know?
I'm trying to see. Right. So there's been 3 Anarchy in the Arenas. So you're talking about the first one with the JAS versus Santana, Ortiz, Mox, King, and Danielson.
That's the one.
Yeah. I can agree with that. And oddly enough, so does Cage Match. Cage Match has it at a 9.06 out of 10 rating.
Not because it's right, but because it's convenient.
Because it's easy. But they've significantly gotten lower or worse as they've gone along. 9.06 to 8.76 to 8.36. And about the same number of votes, too. So, but that's your on demand for Double or Nothing. Next one's going to be Clash at the Castle in 2 weeks. I'm excited for that.
I can't believe that show's already coming up.
Right. The card looking pretty good so far. It's Damian Priest defending against Drew. It's Bailey against Piper Niven. Is that the only 2 matches so far? I think it is.
Okay.
They're teasing some other stuff. I'm guessing they're gonna run back AJ and Cody at Clash at the Castle. Because you can't not have Cody on the card.
They need to do a really good brawl with them too. Or like if they do a match, just have it be like ground zero finish. Like just chaos.
Right.
Don't deliver an actual finishing sequence.
Right. You know, especially since their first match was a 5-star according to Meltzer. But 6 one, half dozen in the other, right? What else do we have on tap? Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Marcus.
With the flying elbow smash.
Marcus, it's time.
And now, Tim Taylor presents The Undertaking.
Marcus. I had to watch and listen to The Undertaker and his host interview UFC fighter Tim Kennedy for an hour and a half about the only thing I didn't hear them say was "Make America Great Again." But they found a way to just skirt around and like they did like drive-bys on stuff. Like Like, they're talking about how polarizing people are nowadays. Like, there's us versus them. And then Tim Kennedy goes, yeah, there's the days and the dems. And I'm like, stop. Stop.
Good grief.
Full stop. So, I'm sorry. I don't really have anything of super note, but I do want to take a moment
I was going to say, do we want to talk about the Tim Kennedy finish? Because I actually did a little bit of undertaking myself when I saw that Tim Kennedy was a guest, and I wanted to kind of fact check what Tim Kennedy has said about the fight.
You're talking about the Yoel Romero fight?
That's the one. That's
Okay.
the one from like UFC 179,
178
or something like that. 178. Okay. So yeah, it's like 2014-ish, somewhere around there. So yeah, they have a fight. Get to the, I think it's at the end of the second round. They Kennedy is lighting up Yoel, and he's out on his feet. And he gets saved by the bell, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And Yoel goes to the corner, and he sits down, and he's getting treated for his cuts, and it's time to stand up and get to the next round. And Yoel is still on the gimmick, still on the stool, and Kenny's like, you're letting him, like, basically letting him, like, come to, like, if he can't go, like, I win the fight. And that was still what Kennedy was saying on the pod, from what I saw. And it's very clear what happened. The UFC cut man put too much Vaseline on the cut of Yoel, so had to stop, which is by the rules. Fix it up, make it better. And then Tim Kennedy got dropped.
Right.
A full 180 and a beauty.
Honestly, I don't care about the fight at all. I don't think Tim Kennedy's that great of a fighter. You can at me, however you like. But my part of the undertaking is this. Marcus, The Undertaker and Tim Kennedy spent over 10 minutes talking about guns and precision shooting.
Mm-hmm.
What are some common topics that when you start to hear the conversation, your eyes glaze over and you 100% have nothing to add to the conversation?
Hunting.
They talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah, hunting. I have nothing to add. Like waking up at 3:00 in the morning to go freeze and potentially get shot by somebody because they think you're a deer does not sound appealing to me. Sitting up there waiting to shoot a deer when you could just go buy one. Whatever. I understand the appeal of fishing, but yeah, the whole process of like, and using the different body washes,
The musks.
like, yeah, it all just, it feels very like paramilitary to me.
It is.
It's like you wanted to be a boy soldier so bad and you never got to be. I'm so sorry for you. But instead of people, you're hunting like these animals. And again, look, I love meat. I think, some of these hunters though, they want to play guns.
Right.
So nothing against you. If hunting is your thing, enjoy it. I kind of just yucked on it, but hey, that's me.
See,
I'm talking to the microphone. I stand by it.
I don't understand hunting, but I do understand deer jerky. If you want to supply me with some deer bologna or some good venison steaks, sign me up. I'll pick them up. We've already established earlier in the podcast, if you've got leftovers, I got it. Yeah. I'm good for at least 3 venison steaks. Okay. what other conversations though that if you hear them come up, that you're immediately eyes glazed over? I have nothing to add.
Comic books, which is very tough because of the circle I have found myself in the last 10 plus years. But I'm the odd man out, and that's okay. I've grown to appreciate that my friends really enjoy this. And so I'm very happy for them. But when it comes up, I am off in another planet. I'm on planet Jarrett. I'm I don't know what I'm thinking about, but yeah. And I'll just tune back in when it's done. But I hope everybody has a great time.
Um, for me, part of what I roll my eyes on, and you'll appreciate this too from where we're from. It's not talking about the military. It's conversations about how hard it is to be someone dating or married to somebody in the military.
Oh boy.
Like that conversation, miss me with it all the time.
Yeah.
It's a big simpy getter, and you ain't getting no simpy from me. I'm sorry you chose this life.
It's very weird that for the United States government, for the US military to actually be like socialized while everybody else has to live under capitalism. Very weird. Very weird. Very weird. Just a thought. Just a thought out loud.
I don't know. I think you're gonna get some laser pointers aimed at you through the window as sounds of freedom roll past. You're gonna get got. Car dudes.
Oh yeah.
Like
I wish I was. I really
talking to
do.
me about cubic inches and like even like stupid stuff like I got these rims and da 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 da, and I'm like, I put fuel in my car and it goes.
Yeah. I feel like that one for me, I'm like hand up. Like this is another one that's on me. Find it really fascinating that people can have that kind of knowledge and information and know like what letters go where to know what kind of car that is. But yeah, I blows my mind. Blows my mind. I don't know.
Right. Not for me. Yeah, so in the Discord, let us know at the TNM Shows channel. What conversations come up that make your eyes glaze over and you just have nothing to add to it? I feel like we're going to get a lot of interesting comments because I feel like young Ed has about one or two of these a day at his super secret science job. I feel like he is like, this is his life. He goes and punches in to hear 6 conversations he couldn't give a crap about. It's amazing. I love it.
Take a swig for the working man.
On the other side of that question, though, this is, of course, me trying to end on a positive. What is a topic you wish you knew more about that you could jump in on a conversation with, but you're afraid that if you did jump into it, you would be letting everybody know that you were an idiot when it comes to this?
Star Wars. Star Wars. Yep. We've kind of talked about it before on the show. Really like Star Wars. I have a fun time watching Star Wars. If Star Wars is on, I'm not going to change the channel. Really enjoy it. I like the different stories that it tells. I like the lights, things that go. I'm in for all of it. I don't know what planet anything is on. I don't know what tribe or country or anybody belongs to. I saw Rogue One, which is supposedly the best Star Wars movie, and I didn't understand a single thing that happened in the movie. And I know that that is on me. My comprehension is just, it's not there. I haven't watched any of the Star Wars TV stuff. I know it's good. Haven't watched it. I've just accepted that I am very basic and I'm sticking to the main trilogies, and that is where my knowledge begins and ends, and doesn't even really like. It's not like I'm masterful of any of that knowledge. I am just a very surface level Star Wars fan.
Okay.
I know the main characters, and I'm also content. Like I wish I knew more, but at the same time, I'm not looking to add that knowledge. Like, I'm good. I'm
Okay,
good.
so I'm gonna put you on the spot, my spot, dog spot, liver spot.
Bald spot.
What is the most advanced Star Wars thing that you can tell me right now? That you're like you're proud that you know this.
Like Samuel Jackson negotiated his own color lightsaber.
You're now talking about stuff that's not in the movie.
Oh, okay.
You're talking about Samuel L. Jackson when you can't even tell me the name of Samuel L. Jackson's character from the first trilogy.
Isn't he another like Mace Windu or something?
He's Mace Windu.
Oh baby, get me cooking. Get me cooking. Barely
Yes,
got that one.
he did not want a different. He wanted his own color lightsaber.
Yeah, he was right for that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't freaking know. I don't know anything that would be like. I know the little people called Ewoks, right?
Yes, from
Okay.
which Star Wars are the Ewoks in?
They're in the last one, the last of the three, the original three, not the. So you got whatever the first one is. You got Empire Strikes Back.
The first one is called Star Wars.
Star Wars 1. Yeah.
No, that is the Phantom Menace. That is 1.
Okay. Empire Strikes Back, which is my favorite.
That's 5.
That's my favorite. And then you got Return of the Jedi.
Yes.
So they're in Return of the Jedi.
They are. Do you know? Okay. You said you don't know what planet they're on. Okay. What planet are the Ewoks from?
That's not Tatooine, is it?
That's where Luke Skywalker's from.
I don't know. They got the blue milk over there, right?
They do have the blue milk over there. Somebody listens to Longbox Heroes After Dark.
No, I'm telling you, that's
so it takes place. So they're on the forest moon of Endor.
Oh, you know what? If you gave me like 10 strikes, I think I would have got that eventually. A couple of hints, I would have got it.
Okay. Can you name any Ewok?
I didn't know they had names.
There's one very famous Ewok.
Wait, Chewbacca's not an Ewok, is he?
No, what is he? What is Chewbacca?
No, I don't know. Big guy. About 7 foot tall. Gotta be close to 400 pounds. I don't know.
Chewbacca, I think, is like 9 feet tall.
Oh, okay.
So the race of Chewbacca is a Wookiee.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I could have got that one in 3 strikes, I think.
That's, the leader of all the Ewoks is Wicket.
Nope. That's brand new information to me.
Well, now you've learned something.
What is something you are very what's that phrase, like
worldly?
Oh no, it's I don't know, you know a lot of things.
I have a
little about everything.
I'm a jack of all trades and a master of none.
There you go. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah,
I like to put myself. I like to have a little bit of information to get into almost any situation. And
I'm on the flip side where I'm like, I know a lot about a very, very small bracket of categories.
You can't tell me nothing about Star Wars, but you could give me dates, times, and like air temperature of everything that took place during the JonBenet Ramsey case. Like, you were there.
I was not there. Don't put me there. I was not there.
You were there playing with JonBenet's little brother.
Oh man,
Y'all are about the same age.
we were.
Exactly. Why hasn't anybody questioned you about JonBenet Ramsey's missing appearance?
I was 6.
Yeah. Enough to know better. I wish I knew more about comic book stuff. Like specific like there's still so much of it. Like I know enough about comics to like get in trouble, but do not rely on me to tell you anything comic book related that didn't get turned into a video game or a movie. Don't.
Gotcha.
All of my understanding on Civil War comes from Marvel Ultimate Alliance, the video game, and Captain America Civil War, the movie. I'm still reading through the Civil War saga right now. Slow going. I kind of lost steam. I need to pick it back up. But, yeah, I just wish I knew a little bit more about comics. It doesn't stop me from listening to Longbox Heroes every week. I'm just fascinated by everything. But, yeah. So let us know. That's another thing in the Discord, in the comments section on the YouTube channel. What's a topic you wish you knew more about that you could contribute to conversations in? But other than that, Marcus, do you have anything you need to plug?
I don't think so. No, I think I'm Gucci, man.
Did you buy anything this week?
No.
Same
no,
here.
I have been looking at figs. I did have a Mr. Hitman flag come in.
All right.
So I can hang that on one of the walls whenever I get around to doing that. But I'm still in the acquisition mode of Hitman memorabilia.
Sounds good.
Yeah, that was it for me for weekly purchases.
Yeah, that's about it for me too. I don't have anything. Collapsible segment. We close it up, we package it up, and we send it on its way. Soon to be named network.tumblr.com, at STBN Network on Twitter. That's your spot for catching anything and everything that gets put out by us crazy folk, including our wrestling podcast of At Odds of Wrestling with Joe and Adam and We Need Wrestling with DJ and Brett. Check us out on social media at TNM Shows on Twitter. Not the Tool Man for me, at the Wrestling Speakeasy for Marcus. If you know, you know. But so much to take in on the network. Even stuff that it's network adjacent gets put up there as long as Joe has an idea about it and knows what's going on. I'll drop a little nugget here. Marcus and I are in the lab.
It's up to something season.
It's up to something season. We're
Sorry,
in the
I had
lab.
to steal that from Punter Pat.
There it is. But consider this an announcement of an announcement of an announcement.
Mm-hmm.
The old Tony Khan special. Okay. We're working on something. Get in the DMs if you want to know. maybe we'll let you in, maybe we won't. But just know we're juicing up right now.
Oh,
we're vibing. We're ready to let the dog loose. So
I thought you meant steroids.
No, I got to add that to the list. But so we appreciate you guys here on the YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts, here in the Discord at TNM Shows. We appreciate you. We will be back here next week for another field trip. Marcus, where are we going on a field trip?
We are going to the year 2009. We will be watching a match from Extreme Rules 2009. It will be the ladder match between Jeff Harvey and Edge for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Sounds delicious. Cannot wait to take you on a field trip with that. But according to everything else, Conan, do you have anything else to say?
Enough!
Appreciate you. Thank you. But right now, all that's left is to tell the people goodbye.
Bye, boys.